Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 76 for Tuesday, the 15th of June, 2021. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me on this fine evening is...
I think I've gone back 8 years. It's number one Stuntmaster.
All hail the almighty overlords of Xbox, Trip Neely.
See, that's what I mean. We've gone back years.
We've gone back in time because, well, it's a strange one this week because the usual reliable regulars of Sensei Switch and Cinema Dan could not make it tonight because I changed the days. I changed it obviously to Monday for the live stream and for the recording because it's E3 week, and I know there's still some shows to go on, but last night was the Microsoft and Bethesda event, and had to watch it, man. I couldn't be interfering with that by doing the podcast. I wanted to watch it in its full glory live, so we could talk about it this week. So that is so that is why it's been delayed. However, this week is a little bit different. So we're recording tonight, and we're going to be talking about some of the E3 stuff. Not everything, because there's been a lot shown at E3 already. So tonight it's going to be like a normal show, but the news section is going to be all about E3, and then we're going to talk about what we've been playing because Ratchet and Clank has been released this week, and myself and Stunty have been playing it, so we really want to talk about that and give our thoughts on that. Obviously, we've got Trip here, who hasn't been on for God knows how long.
When were you last on, Trip?
I couldn't even tell you.
Are you going to run through 15 years worth of games?
15 years of games? Honestly, the list wouldn't be that long, but no, probably not. We'll just stick with the most recent.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
So we're recording live streaming tonight, Monday. If you're listening before Wednesday, we're also going to be doing another live stream Wednesday at the same time, 8:30 p.m. And that is a dedicated E3 special recording and live stream. None of this what we've been playing. It's going to be all E3. So check that out on the live stream. I'm hoping to get Hogarth on for that one as well. Maybe Wes. We're unsure. I don't think because he did say he was interested, but I think it'd be too late for him because he lives in Thailand, the other side of the world. It'd be like 4 a.m. for him or something silly. So I doubt he'll be on. Trip says that he's available, so Trip's gonna do some homework and watch some of the E3 stuff before Wednesday. I know he's already watched the Xbox stuff. And Stunty, I don't know if you're available Wednesday or not.
I'd have to play it by ear at the moment because I don't know. I might be. It depends on how I get on with stuff around the house.
Oh, or your man chores.
No.
Chores.
No, I've got other things. I need to get my camper van out. I've got stuff to do on that. I'm not sure. I will play it by ear. I mean, if you've got 5 of you, there's no point coming on.
I mean, if it's playing, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think Sensei might come on, and because he's very diligent at watching everything to do with E3, I'm not sure if Dan's available. So yeah, we're playing it by ear on who's available. Really, Trip's really the only one who's at a 100% at the moment, so it's all good. But that show will be live streamed, but it will only the full length of the show will only be going up on the Patreon feed. So if you want to listen to all of that goodness, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. So there. Whilst we are on the subject of the Patreons, they got 2 extra shows already in the past week. They got the live reactions of the Xbox show and the Ubisoft show, which I think they enjoyed. Oh no, it's not Ubisoft. Sorry, I'm losing the plot. Square Enix live reaction show and the Xbox show. The Square Enix show is me just talking about how shit the show was, and Xbox was jizzing in my pants. So that was awesome. I'm going to do a quick rundown of thank yous to the Patreon. So a big thank you to Wes, Phil, Brian, John, Sean, Nigel, John. This is different John. Ryan, Strokey McGinger, Jason Adams, Paul, David, Nikki, Nessie, Sly, Steffi, Craig, Matthew, Dazpoz, our very own Illmatic, Luke Cobby, Captive Venom, and Leon. Thank you to all of you for subscribing to the Patreon and making this show, every show possible. Without you, there wouldn't be a show every single week of the year, and we wouldn't be doing the exciting extra shows. We're still scheduling the extra Patreon show with some of the patrons, which should come out by the end of the month. And we're also going to be recording a paranormal episode towards the end of the month as well. So watch out for those shows as well. Busy. We're keeping busy. And before we get into games and stuff like that, just a word of warning. I am in the process of moving house at the moment. Not sure on the date yet, but when that happens, there will more than likely not be a show for 1 week while I sort out moving. So that's just a pre-warning. Not sure when it's going to happen. It'll be some point in the next month or two. But yeah, that's going to happen. Lots of boxes being packed and stuff at the moment. So busy times all round.
You could do one on the road in your camper van.
My camper van? I wish I had one, mate.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying though, you get a camper van and then you don't have to worry about looking for anywhere to live. You could be on the road and then you could do your podcasting all over the country.
Like one of those, what do they call them? Nomads? The nomad lifestyle? Is that what it's
called? Little
called?
gypsy children running around.
Yeah, what a life, you know. If you get no council tax, no electric, no gas.
Mate,
you save a lot of money.
I'd be living the dream.
And also you got to remember, we live in a day and age where you don't even need an internet because you've got 4G, haven't you? So you don't need a cable anymore.
But it's no good for gaming, mate. It's a problem. And I wouldn't be able to fit my PC in a camper van.
Well, it depends on what size camper van you get.
Well, true.
You wouldn't need a heater if you put your PC in a camper van.
Well, very true. Very, very true. I mean, that thing does get blood. The hot air that pumps out. Bloody hell. Crazy. Yeah, so lots going on at the moment. Anyway, we're going to briefly cover some of the E3 stuff, and then we'll get into what we've been playing. How's that sound?
Excellent.
Excellent times. So, shall we get into the main show that we thought was Amazeballs? Xbox.
Well, some of us did.
What's that, mate?
Some of us thought it was Amazeballs.
Well, I thought it was Amazeballs. I'm not an Xbox fanboy, obviously, but the one thing that impressed me with the Microsoft conference, the Xbox conference, was how many of those games that were announced. It was 30 games. I think it was like 25 of them are coming to Game Pass on day one, which I think is great. It's good. It's good value for money. And
How many are actually exclusives? I'm just wondering. I didn't actually see that.
I actually don't know. That would be a good question there. I mean, obviously, Forza is an exclusive, and so is Halo. I'm just looking through the list. Age of Empires, Outer Worlds, Starfield. That's 5.
No, yeah, but I'm talking this year stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't written any dates down, so
yeah. Get on it and put it on Facebook because it'd be nice to know how many are actually exclusives for this year. For Xbox.
What I will do, Stunty, is before the E3 show on Wednesday, I'm going to go through my list of games I've written down and look at and find all the release dates for them, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because it'll only take a quick search online to find those release dates. But what I find really cool is Back for Blood was a big. I think that is a big win for Xbox. That's coming to Game Pass day one. For Xbox and PC Game Pass, which is fantastic, and the game is going to be full. It's going to be cross-play, So I mean, I think that's cool because that's one game that I was going to buy at launch, and now I don't have to pay for it, which is
Is
great.
that cross-play between Xbox and PC, or is it Xbox, PlayStation,
I
PC, or not?
believe, don't quote me on this, I believe it's cross-play between all systems.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and that's why I've been hyped for it because obviously we love the old Left 4 Dead games, and the fact that this game
Yeah.
is going to be cross-play as well is just even better. Um, but it just shows to me the value with Game Pass at the moment because you look at Back for Blood, that's probably going to be what 50, 60 quid. And then another game that was announced that's going to be Game Pass day one as well is A Plague Tale Requiem. Now, A Plague Tale Innocence was the original game. I absolutely loved it. This game is coming out on every single system. And again, that's going to be another full price game to purchase, right? 50, 60 quid again. So let's say between 100 and 120 pound for those two games. Well, that's a year's Game Pass just straight there. Sort of buying those
Well, yeah.
those two games
Yeah.
outright.
Can I just say something on that though? I know, I might be the negative on Game Pass, but just remember you don't own them. So
Well, yes, we
this is,
know that.
yeah, you just remember that you don't own the game, so it's not yours forever. And this is what always makes me laugh about Game Pass. You get all these games, yet you don't own them. They're not yours. So
At the end of the
remember,
day, though, Santi, you don't really own anything at the end of the day. I mean,
yeah,
I
you
have
do.
several
Yeah.
houses, but you don't own them. You got to pay taxes on them. If you don't pay
Oh
taxes on
yeah.
them, you won't
Well,
own them
you
anymore.
and
Same
yeah,
with everything.
and you buy the
Yeah, but
physical discs of
you don't lose
games.
it at the end of it though, do you?
Mm.
If you own your house,
Yeah, but
well, unless you don't pay the bills.
these days, if you buy a game anyway, you don't really own it as well. It's all in the small print. But no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Completely see your point of view there, Stunty. But
Mm.
from my point of view, it's once I've finished, especially a single player game, I don't play it again anyway. And I'd rather. Well, I'm happy to pay that monthly fee for Game Pass just to get that big selection, and the fact that they're bringing all these big games out for day one, I think it's a huge win. Um, yeah, so I'm just going to go through some of the games. I'm not going to go through all the games. I'm just going to go through some of the games that I was really excited for at the E3 conference. So the first one was Stalker. Um, Stalker 2, The Heart of Chernobyl. I don't know if you guys ever played the original Stalker game. It came out many years ago, and I think it was
Was it PC only?
it was PC exclusive. Yeah,
Yeah, I do. I don't. It looked like a Metro game. Is that what it really
Hmm.
was?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
what I got
original
it.
was kind of like that. It just seems it's very how do we do? It's very dark. There's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of monsters in there. It's about. It's obviously it's all set in Chernobyl, and obviously there's a lot of creatures that come from the radioactive waste, but it's got like a very big horror element to it. Um, yeah, so I mean, I'm really excited for this because it's been a long time since we've seen a Stalker game. Um, so so this is going to be. I think this is going to be quite cool. But what's really odd is there seems to be this little bit of a trend. You got these Eastern European devs doing these sort of games at the moment because there's another game coming out to all systems as well. I've actually purchased it about a year ago when it was in early access. A game called Chernobylite, which is in a similar vein as well. That wasn't shown at the Xbox show, but it's again it's quite similar. Um, yeah, so yeah, I think this Stalker 2 is going to be pretty decent, to be honest. So that's one to watch out for.
Is
Uh,
this Xbox PC or is it anything else?
it's coming out to PC 100%. It's coming to Xbox. Uh, it says Xbox and Windows, and it's coming to Game Pass on day one as well.
Right, so it's not
I'm not sure,
PlayStation
but
won't get it.
yeah, I'm not sure because obviously it's an Xbox show, right? So they're not going to say, "Oh, it's going to come to
No, no.
PlayStation."
Who's it made by then? Because I don't even know who it's made by.
That's a good question. Actually, I don't actually know off the top of my head
You're
who
not
it's
very good
made
tonight,
by.
are you, Webby?
Mate, do you
Your
know what?
information's lacking.
Okay, it's made by, but I'll tell you what, it's made by a company called GSC Game World. There you go. Never heard of them.
No, never heard of them.
No, so I mean, I'm not very good tonight because I've literally spent all day packing boxes.
No, no, it's
So
all right. I'll let you off.
I haven't been doing my usual because usually on a podcast day I spend at least an hour before the show just prepping. So I've not had
I'm
the
It's
getting
a
what
opportunity
you're saying.
tonight.
month. From what I remember reading, it's a 3 month timed exclusive when it
Oh, okay.
launches.
Okay, well that's
This
not
is
too bad, is it?
this is becoming more and more now, isn't it? Time exclusives.
Yeah.
I know,
So
I know.
it says it'll release on PlayStation July 2022.
Okay, cool. Yep. So that's one to watch out for.
That's out next year, then, is it? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, One of the most hyped games, actually the most hyped game for me, is Battlefield 2042. So at the Xbox event, they showed gameplay, actually taken from the 128 player battles, and I think it looks absolutely insane. Uh, I'm really excited for this one because we haven't had a modern Battlefield game since 2013 with Battlefield 4, so it's been quite a wait. And it looks like they've harkened back to that Battlefield 4 style of gameplay, with the evolution, but they've added in all the extra weather effects and stuff. And it looks like just chaos. But what they've added into it as well is you can change the settings on your weapons on the fly. So it showed a little bit in the trailer where they're in an elevator and he brings up the gun in front of him and he's changing his scopes and his mags and all that stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. Some of the maps they showed looked really awesome. There's ones with some skyscrapers, and you can zip line between buildings as well, which is really really cool. It seems like some of the character classes get grappling hooks as well, so you can grapple around, and you get wingsuits as well, so you can jump off buildings and wingsuit around. So it just adds a really cool element to the gameplay, and I am really excited for this. I am going all in, balls deep, Ultimate Edition with this day one. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, but how
Thoughts?
much is it going to cost for all of that?
Okay,
That's my question.
so there has been some controversy with this game.
Mm.
So I'm just going to go out and say the reason I'm going Ultimate Edition is because on the PC I get the option of signing up for EA Play Plus or whatever the fuck it's called, EA Access Origin, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, that's £90 for the year on PC, and that gives you every single EA game at launch. It gives you all the Ultimate Editions of every EA game at launch. So I thought, well, I'll pay that for the year, and I can play some other games as well. But to buy the Ultimate Edition of Battlefield 2042 is the same price. It's 90 quid. Now, the reason why the game is controversial to some people is one, it doesn't have a single player campaign. I'm actually not that bothered about that because it's all about the multiplayer for me anyway. But it's a full price game. There's 3 different versions. There's a 40. Well, on the PC it's 40 quid. On the consoles, I think it's 60 quid. And then there's another version which is like 70 quid with some extra stuff. And then there's an Ultimate Edition which is 90 quid, which includes all the season passes. So in the first year, this game's going to have 4 season passes. And that's what's controversial about it. I don't know how much. Don't know how much the
So
season
it's just
passes.
getting all. It's all just getting too complicated.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, Sonny, but I think
do a Battlefront, isn't it? Again.
I think the
It's doing
season
a style of
passes are going to be like in COD, where they're just pure cosmetics.
Mhm.
And that I don't really give a fuck about cosmetics because I just want to run around and shoot bitches in the face.
And
You
there's
know?
no campaign either.
No, there's no campaign, and I know some of the Battlefield campaigns have been very good.
Yeah, I like. I mean, it took me 7 years, but I did actually finish Battlefield 4 the other day.
Oh
But that's
wow,
probably
that's
because, well,
yeah.
only because the fact being is I could never finish it on the Xbox because it always kept crashing because it's a known bug So in the end, I ended up playing it on the PlayStation, and actually
That's
did
fair
finish it.
enough. No, that's fair enough.
All right, but
Go on.
yeah, it's put me off because there's no campaign. I'm paying 60 quid for a multiplayer game that's online.
Mm.
Well, that's my thing. I mean, I rarely have chances to play multiplayer games, and Halo Infinite's releasing their multiplayer 100% free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have to buy the game to play it.
Yeah.
So, for somebody in my situation, I'm going to want to play Halo more than I want to play Battlefield because I've got to pay $100 for the best edition of Battlefield,
Yeah.
and all I get is online multiplayer, which I don't even get to play that much. I mean, I've got kids at home. I can't sit around and play video games all weekend long because we're got sports and all other good stuff. I mean, will I probably end up buying it? Yes. Will I get that? Will I get my money's worth out of it? Probably not. I mean, I bought COD. I bought several of the season passes for COD. Do I think I've got my money out of it? No. And plus, when I play it, I feel like a moron, like just following people around. Like, oh no, you need to go here and do this. You need to go here and do this. And I'm like, oh, I'm dead anyway. I didn't even get there. So, died in the gulag. Yep, I'm done. So, I
No, I know what you're
don't know. These
saying.
multiplayer games are just getting too complicated. I mean, just if you're going to only do a multiplayer game, why don't you reduce the barrier to entry so more people play it instead of increasing the barrier of entry? Like Halo,
Yeah.
to me, that's like a brilliant formula. Just let everybody play this game and pay for the extra content as you release it. But
Yeah, but because it does feel like this game is going for like a free to play model, but you're paying for the game.
And the thing is, there's so many now out there that are free to play. I mean, you've got the
Yeah.
likes, as I say, you've got Warzone, which is really popular.
Yeah, but that's just a battle royale game, you know. And the thing about Battlefield is it has all the cool modes, and you have the vehicles and you have the large maps, and it's a completely different beast to Warzone and these battle royale games.
it does look like an incredible game. The game looks amazing. It's just, am I going to have enough time to commit to it? And probably no, but I'll buy it, I'm sure, anyway.
I mean, I know that I will have lots of time to play this because I get a lot of gaming time for someone that has kids. I've got a good wife, so I'm quite lucky in that respect. But the one thing that I really want to know about this game is it gonna have crossplay? Because I'm picking this up on PC. I'm not gonna pick it up on a console. So if it doesn't have any crossplay, I'm going to be missing out on playing with all my Xbox friends, which is going to be a little bit frustrating. So I'm hoping it does have crossplay.
Do you have crossplay with? I know there isn't crossplay between Apex on Xbox to PlayStation. Is there PC to?
I don't know about Apex. I know obviously on Call of Duty there is.
That's an EA game, isn't it? That's the reason I say it, because Apex is EA.
I need to look into it because I don't play Apex. Actually don't know.
Yeah,
I would imagine with the player count, it's going to have to be crossplay. I mean, that many people, you just have to have. There's no way that it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Probably will be. Probably will be crossplay. You'll have a battle, whatever it is, an account. You'd have to have an account with EA, and a bit like what the Activision does. You have to use your Activision accounts and use the crossplay, isn't it?
I don't know. The maps look amazing. I mean, just the gameplay and the area and the area effects and everything they showed looks. I mean, I'd imagine what everybody wants, right?
100%.
Semi-modern Battlefield game.
This is what we've been wanting for ages.
Yeah.
128 players. And I think they announced this game right, though, because what they did, I mean, I think whoever made the first trailer needs a fucking medal because it got me and many others just so hyped for the game before obviously having the actual gameplay reveal a few days later. I have to say, I do think that is one of the best game trailers I've ever seen in my life. It was just done so well. giving little nods to the old Battlefield games as well. Just the music and just the way they seem to set it up, and then obviously they showed the gameplay at Xbox, and I was just in awe because it looks stunning. And the big maps, the multiple players, the different game modes, the weather effects, the levolution, which people take the piss out of, it all just comes together. And I do think this is going to be a fucking awesome game when it comes out. I really do. I'm excited.
It didn't get the Game Pass though that everyone was saying it was going to be there, wasn't it?
No, and I'm not
Right.
surprised. I don't know where that rumor came from because I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Why would they put it
it's an
onto Game
eventual
Pass?
thing, right? I mean, all EA games eventually go to whatever that EA pass
EA
is.
Play, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, they eventually end up there. But I would say for a game like this, I mean, it seems like it depends on how successful the game is at launch, right? I mean, some of the EA games have taken 12 months to go on there. Some of the EA
Yeah.
games have flopped and it's been 3 or 4 months later and you can play
yeah,
them for
yeah,
free.
yeah.
I would say with this game, you're definitely looking at the latter. It's going to be at least a year before.
Minimum, yeah,
Yeah.
minimum, yeah, yeah,
And how well the seasons are supported and how well the reception continues to be with the season. So
yeah. No,
maybe
100%.
eventually, but you're going to miss out on a year at least of gameplay if you're just
Yeah,
waiting for it to be free.
yeah, and that's the thing, right? Because I know people say, "Oh, yeah, I'll wait a year for these games to come out on Game Pass or whatever," but it's like you miss out on all that hype at the beginning where the game's new and fresh and everyone's experiencing it for the first time and everyone's talking about it. You jump on it a
Mm-hmm.
year later and it's kind of like, yeah, I've been playing it for a year and I'm fucking awesome, and then you're a noob and you're shit, so it takes you ages
Yeah,
to
but
learn. You're getting fucked over, and you're just missing out on that initial excitement, right? And that's kind of what you're paying for at the end of the day. It's a bit like a
Yeah.
drug. You know, you're like, yes, new game day one. I want to get it and play. Yeah, look at us, all, woo, we're having fun.
but
Well, it's
you
just
say
been so long since a game came out that everybody wanted to play at launch.
Yeah,
So I think most gaming communities are like, well, why buy them? I mean, it's not going to live up to what it is. This one looks like it
yeah,
very well could be the Battlefield game everybody has been waiting for. And
yeah,
people have said that I don't even know how many times. I mean, Battlefield 4 was supposed to be that, and it had all kinds of issues at launch and
hmm,
never. I mean, it was a great game, but it took a long time to become that really
yeah,
good game.
yeah, yeah. I agree, but it was amazing. We had a lot of good fun community nights on that. It was awesome. Cool. Right. What else was shown? Back for Blood was also shown that we've briefly mentioned. That's coming to Game Pass on day one. Stunty, will you be resubscribing to Game
no,
Pass?
no.
Or will you just pick it up on the PlayStation and crossplay with us, lowly
I don't
mortals?
know. I don't actually think the game will sell well on the PlayStation. Do you know why? Because not a lot of people played Left 4 Dead on the PlayStation because it didn't come out on it. So
Really?
don't know.
Did neither of them come out on the PlayStation?
No, none of the Left 4 Deads came on PlayStation. They were
Oh,
Xbox only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing
So
is, though, it's been long enough, and I mean, it's a different name. It's got
mm,
what looks like a little bit different mechanics from Left 4 Dead,
yeah,
and there's
I,
not many games out right now, right? I mean,
yeah.
for
I,
any
I,
of the systems. So
I think, to be honest here, I think that, I mean, the game will be. I mean, I'm interested in the game because I love Left 4 Dead. It's probably up there for one of the best games on the 360.
yeah.
But
I mean, isn't this the studio that did Evolve?
yeah, that's the other
Did they
thing
do
as well.
Evolve as well? Did they?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure,
yeah,
yeah.
they
So I
did
mean, it
evolve.
looks like it has bits of Left 4 Dead and bits from Evolve
Oh, right.
Mm.
folded into one game
But
because some
evolve
of the
was a
game
lot.
modes are like Evolve.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Um, but no, I don't know. I mean, I can see why Xbox picks it up because Left 4 Dead's always been a fan favorite on the 360, and you can see that. I don't know if it'll sell as well as people are hoping it will sell because, as I say, it's never been on PlayStation before. There is a lot of games like this, so it might not grab as many people's interest as, for me. Yes, it will because I've played the Left 4 Dead's, but you think a lot of PlayStation owners have never played the Left 4 Deads, and they're going to look at this and go, looks like World War Z, or it looks like another game that I've played, or something else. Where for us, we've played all these the originals, and we love them. I probably will pick it up. It depends on how much it's priced for, to be honest, on the PlayStation. To be honest,
no, fair enough.
Yeah, the only reason I won't subscribe to Game Pass, I don't use it, and
No, that's fair.
I'm just wasting £11 every month and not using it. I've gone back to I'm gonna basically be doing what Switch does. If I find something on the Xbox I really want, I just go and buy it. So I'll be just doing the same with Switch.
Fair dues, mate. Fair dues. Right, I'm going to quickly rattle off a few other games I'm excited for, and then going to briefly talk about the conferences, how shit some of them were, and then I'm obviously you guys chime in if anything piqued your interest as
Yeah.
well. Forza Horizon 5 coming out on the 9th of November. Were you guys surprised about this at all?
No, because they'd bring one out every other year.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
It didn't look any different than Forza Horizon 4 to me. I mean, it looks good. I like the Horizon games. I played all of them, so I'll definitely be playing it.
See, I was thinking that. I was thinking, it doesn't look much different to Forza Horizon 4 in the graphics department, but apparently they've added in, obviously it's got ray tracing, and they've added in a lot of extra graphical fidelity to the game. And it came out in the news today that on the Series X, it's going to run at 4K 30 frames per second, whereas Forza Horizon 4 on the Xbox One X ran at 4K 60. So they've obviously added in a lot of extra graphical additions. If their fidelity mode is running at 30 frames per second, there is going to be options to lower the graphics to have it running at 60 though. So that option is going to be in there. But I was just a little bit surprised at that news because when the Xbox Series X was being advertised before it came out, it was like, we're going to be doing games at 4K, 120 FPS, and all the fanboys were like, oh, look, this is going to be the most powerful console in the world, and I'm like, and now this has come out, and it's like, yeah, all right, now reality is kicking in. Not that it's the end of the world or anything. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm not surprised in Mexico because that rumor was leaked a long time ago. But yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I'm just glad I'm obviously able to play it on the PC. So getting the best of both worlds, really. But I think it looks cool. But I'm surprised they didn't show anything of Forza Motorsport.
I don't think Forza Motorsport gets people that excited anymore.
No.
I
mean, it does for a certain type of gamer, doesn't it? Like, those people that like the sim sort of races, right?
Do you not think Horizon needs to do something different as well? I mean, after 5, do you think we just do another country 6 and then another country 7?
Well, that's just kind of what it is. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I love the Forza Horizon games, and I was really excited for Forza Horizon 4 because it was set in obviously the greatest country in the world. Sorry, Trip. But I got a bit bored of it, a lot quicker than I did on the other Forzas, and I know you've said the same, Stunty, that it didn't.
Yeah, the one from what are we on now? 4's the one in UK. Didn't like that one.
Yeah.
3 was the one in
Australia.
Didn't like that one. The one before was the one my favourite.
2 was amazing.
Where was 2?
Fuck, I can't remember, mate. Probably America.
That was my favourite. Yeah, it might have
I think that was in the States. I think it was like Colorado.
Wasn't that on both 360 and 1?
I think so, yeah. Oh no, Forza Horizon 2 was set in Europe, southern France and northern Italy. I think the first Horizon was America.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I love the Forza Horizons, don't get me wrong, but yeah, Forza Horizon 4, I played it for over 100 hours, funnily enough. But I don't know, there was something missing, that feeling, if that makes sense. I can't quite put my finger on it. But I mean, Mexico is supposed to, it's a very big landmass. It's got a good variety of locations. So, it may surprise us, mate, to be honest.
It needs some gun running.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon Coyote Edition.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
So what they should do is, like in Forza Horizon, have a tunnel going from Mexico to America and do some drug running.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
There we go.
Yeah.
Visit Donald Trump's wall.
Yeah, that's it. Job done.
Job done.
It'd be excellent. Yeah, so...
Nice. They always look lovely, though, the Forza Horizon.
Graphics look stunning.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to mention a couple more. Obviously, they mentioned Starfield. That's a Bethesda title, and that is going to be, obviously, an Xbox console exclusive. Obviously, a lot of PlayStation...
Anyway. But it was anyway. So I don't know why all this big fanboys are kicking off, because it's always been. It was always.
Well, it hasn't always been. When it was announced in 2018, I mean, everybody
never
was
mentioned PlayStation ever. Not that I've ever.
Well, I mean, it was just assumed, right, in 2018, Bethesda's
a
wholly owned independent studio. I mean, it's going to come to everything. I mean, I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I figured Starfield and Elder Scrolls would be multi-platinum or multi.
You won't see Skyrim on PlayStation ever again.
No, you won't. No,
there's no way Microsoft are going to give that away, because they want console sales.
They want exclusives for Game Pass. I want all those subscribers, mate.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with consoles for Microsoft anymore. I think it all has to do with Game Pass. It's all Game Pass. I mean,
it is.
I mean, they make silly money off Game Pass. How many subscribers has it got now? It was something silly, wasn't it? Like 18 million subscribers?
Still not a lot.
I mean, for me, Game Pass anymore, it's not even the games I can download on my console. It's the games that I can play on my Samsung tablet or my iPad anywhere. I mean, that's what Game Pass is to me anymore. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so April 2021, they had over 23 million subscribers to Game Pass. Wow. You think how much money they're making?
Yeah, it's getting up there. I mean,
and how much is it a month?
The Netflix, don't they?
It's $12 a month, I think. I don't know. I haven't ever paid for it. I paid for it at the very beginning when they announced it, I guess, but I haven't ever paid for it by the month.
Be making a lot of cash. But yeah, that's what it's all about. So just on the Bethesda stuff very quickly as well, Outer Worlds 2. Also Xbox exclusive, obviously. I really enjoyed the first one. Yeah.
I thought the first one was okay. I mean,
I really didn't think it was all right.
I finished it. I didn't even realize I finished it when I finished it. I remember that. Like,
it didn't do anything. It just strolled along. I never finished it, but I think I'm quite close to the end. It sort of just rolled along, didn't it? Really, I didn't think it.
Yeah. I mean, it was
all right, but it just didn't.
It was a decent RPG.
Yeah.
I don't know how excited I am for the second one, to be completely honest, because I don't remember the universe they built at all. Thinking about it,
I really liked the trailer. I thought it was hilarious because it's just taking the piss, wasn't it? Now it's a bloke going in slow motion to get everyone excited to bring up the pre-orders. That's just so funny. Yeah.
All I want out of Obsidian is for them to make another Fallout game. That's all I want.
New Vegas was amazing, wasn't it?
I could care less about their new IP, The Outer Worlds. I just want them to get a piece of that Fallout from Bethesda again. Now that it's all Microsoft.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think there's anything. Oh, one last game I do want to mention before you guys chime in. Far Cry 6. They showed another trailer for it. Basically, it's his son's trying to escape. So the main dude, his son's trying to escape the country in a smuggling boat, and it was just pretty cool to see more of it. Just a little bit of the story, because he's the main bloke is a harsh dictator in this made up country, and his people are treated like shit, and they're trying to escape for a better life. Blah 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 blah. And it was just quite interesting, because I really like the Far Cry games because they do some really cool baddies. You know, it's just so fun. The main character, the baddie, is the dude from Breaking Bad. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what's his Gn Giancarlo Esposito? I can't fucking talk. I can't pronounce foreign names. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad. Anyway, he's a great actor. Really, really cool to see him in this game. Um, yeah, I'm excited for Far Cry 6. It's going to be awesome. I
Yeah,
think.
I love the
Yeah,
Far Cry games. I mean,
yeah,
they always have enigmatic, kind of anti-hero villains that have a lot of depth. I mean,
yeah,
you don't usually get to spend a whole lot of time with them, but what the time that you spend with them is pretty good.
yeah.
I mean, it looks like a step up from the last Far Cry, and the last Far Cry was pretty good. So
Yeah, I really
I'm
enjoyed the
excited
last
for
Far
it.
Cry. Yeah, and there's a lot. It looks like there's a lot of customization with the weapons. There's a whole, like, the world is massive to explore. There's a whole city in there. You've got obviously the rural areas and all that as well. You know, I think it's going to be a really really cool one to play. So yeah, that is all the games that I wanted to mention from the Xbox show. Is there anything that you wanted to quickly mention, guys, or have I
I
picked
mean,
out the best ones?
Halo, to me, I think it's great that the multiplayer is going to be free.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited for a Halo campaign. I hope it kind of goes back to the basics of Halo, which it looks like it is. So, I
yeah,
mean, the basics, like story, kind of relaunching that. So
hmm,
I thought Halo looked great.
yeah.
Um, I know Dan was excited about Hades coming. I know nothing about that game, so we'll have
Yeah,
to look it
so
up.
that's been out for a while on PlayStation, Switch, and
Not
PC.
been
But
on
it's
PlayStation.
sorry, it's not on PlayStation. Oh, so
No, it's
only
not on
Switch and
PlayStation.
PC. Sorry,
Yeah, it's
thank you
on
for
Switch
correcting me there,
PC.
Stunty.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's only been available on PC and Switch. And it got Game of the Year from a lot of outlets last year as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming out
Um,
this year on Xbox on Game Pass, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
There's a physical copy coming out as well. So for both Xbox and
Ooh.
PlayStation. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm
might
just kind of
have that.
sticking to games this year. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'll play it because it's going to be on Game Pass. It's never a game I would have purchased, so
No, I
I'm
think that's
happy that
really
I'll get
cool.
to play it.
Yeah, no, I
Something
am.
I wouldn't have bought.
I'm really psyched for the console players to try out Flight Sim, and I hope people actually have a flight stick to try it with as well, because it adds to the immersion. Obviously, I've been playing this on PC since last year, on and off. I normally put it on most weeks, to be honest, and have a little fly around. It's just the one thing that like always stands out to me in this game is just the tech involved, that you can just fly anywhere in the world. It's mental. You know,
Mm-hmm.
fly over your house, go anywhere, go and see the pyramids, go wherever, and it's just the fact that you can do that, I think is just amazing. It's just no other game. Well, it's not really a game; it's a simulator, obviously, but it's just no other interactive media has allowed you to do that, and I think that is just fucking awesome. It's just so good. Yeah.
And then my disappointment from yesterday was they had all these games that were available today, which included Fallout, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics. Well, I
Oh.
jump on my console and I'm looking for these games, and I'm like, where the hell are these games? Like, what? The other ones are here. Where are these three games?
Hmm.
So then I get online and I look, and it's PC only. I'm like,
Yeah.
you
Really?
motherfuckers. Like, why say that it's available for game? I don't know. Game Pass has become this weird thing now, I guess, where it's like PC Game Pass, console Game Pass. I thought the point of Game Pass was it was like play anywhere, right? Like these games are in the cloud, you can just play them, but you can't.
No.
So I
mean, this is something that
it's
I've
all
obviously
optimization and old games. Like I get it, but it's kind of annoying.
Well, yeah, and I do agree with you. And this is something that I've noticed since I've been obviously on Game Pass on both systems for quite a while. You'll get some games that only go to the Xbox. You'll get some games that only go to the PC. You'll get the same games on the PC and the Xbox, but the saves don't transfer over between PC and Xbox, which is highly frustrating. And I know it's not a big user base that do that, but I do play games on my Xbox and then want to play them on my PC. So, a prime example for me is I started Final Fantasy 12 on the Xbox, and I'd really love to carry on playing it on Game Pass on PC, but it won't sync the saves. So I'm stuck, which is really fucking annoying, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they announced the platform is very user friendly. Everything could just access your saves, play the games anywhere, play them remotely, play them on your PC, play them on your console.
Yeah.
Obviously, some you can't play remotely because they're just don't have that functionality at this point. But
yeah, so they released all of those games, which is cool. Evil Within 2 is on Xbox and PC though, which is a great game by the way. You should check that out. But one big game that came out on Game Pass yesterday as well, Yakuza Like a Dragon. So I think that it still blows my mind. Every single Yakuza game is now on Xbox Game Pass from 0 to 7, which is absolutely nuts. And I'm really annoyed because I played 0 to 6 all on PlayStation, and I could have played them for as part of my subscription instead of buying the games, and got Chivos. So I've missed out on all of that. So I might have to replay them, even though they're at 40, 50 hours each. So, yeah, I mean, if you have a decent PC, it's worth having Game Pass Ultimate just to play the Xbox Game Pass games on the PC, because there is a big selection on there now, and the app is pretty decent. I mean, it does have some issues, but on the whole, it's pretty decent, to be honest.
Yeah, that'll never happen. But
no,
yeah,
I know.
Whatever.
Case, but yeah.
But yeah, then the only other 2022 game that I thought looked pretty good was Redfall. Looks like it could be pretty interesting.
Yes, it does look like
not
an
a whole
interesting little title, doesn't it? Very,
Do what?
it's the one with the vampires, isn't it?
Yeah, the vampires. Yeah.
There seems, because initially I was thinking because there's a new vampire masquerade game coming out, but this is not obviously that's not a vampire game, but this looked interesting because it's got that Bethesda art style, like you can tell a Bethesda game because they have this this certain art style in their game. Yeah, and this does look interesting, to be honest. This is a co-op game by the looks of it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 4-player co-op
Yeah.
or single player, however you want to play it. Obviously,
so you have different characters
players are involved.
So you have different characters with different abilities and different weapons, and you're basically just going out and killing vampires. Was that right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it looked to me that's about all they showed so far.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not big on talking about games that don't come out till the next year because then they don't end up coming out the next year. They came out the year after that or the year after that, but it looked pretty good.
Yeah. 100% agree. Yeah. Stunny, anything you wanted to mention?
Really?
No, if not, that's fine.
I thought it was all right, the show. I just didn't really get excited about anything Microsoft bringing out. Sorry to be the PlayStation fan. No.
Did you watch any of the other shows at all? Or?
I've watched bits and bobs. I just thought that Microsoft didn't really show anything that was everything they shown we already knew about. Apart from the little indie stuff, which was quite nice, but I didn't see anything big, big new games, So, but maybe that's just, I mean, I don't know what Sony have got either, so they're just as bad as well at the moment. But I don't know, just nothing really grabbed me, really. I mean, the Halo thing, yeah, I want to see more of it. There's still not enough of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's bits and bobs, but nothing's really, I haven't got that. I mean, don't forget, you say I'm Sony Pony, but I originally played the 360.
I know,
Um,
it's just me messing with you, mate.
no, but
know.
what I'm saying is a massive 360 player, and it's like, but Microsoft have lost their way, and I just don't think they've got it back yet. Still, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, those are games. Oh, I don't know what's the matter with you." No, I'm sorry. No, that's all I hear all the time. It's just fucking hilarious.
I
It
think it
does
just
make me
depends
laugh.
on what games you want to play, what you're
Yeah,
into.
yeah.
Everyone's different, of
I think it's just
course.
video games in general, to be completely honest. I mean, I can't think of the last time any of the platforms released something that I was like, I have to have that. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I see it.
Yeah.
I have to play it today. Like, I am so excited to play that.
Well,
But
I mean, I'm like that with Battlefield at the moment, but I haven't been like that for any game since Final Fantasy VII remake. To be honest, I mean, there's been good games out. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I think Game Pass is great, but what I find a lot of the time is I'll sit down on my PC, especially because I mainly game on my PC, and I've have all these games installed, and I just sit there and I'm like, I can't be fucked to play any of these. You know what I mean?
That's the other reason. That's the other reason why I don't have Game Pass as well, is because that was the one thing I did when I had Game Pass. All I did, my main game on the Xbox was downloading games, not playing them, just downloading games.
And I think
Like,
that's a
I'll have that one. I'll add that to the library. Oh, I'll add that to the library, and you don't play any of them.
hundred
Because then
percent.
you go on, and then all you do is every time I turn the Xbox on, I go on the store. That's not a game, is it?
No, and what I'm finding, obviously, since I've got my PS5, obviously I don't have as many games as on my Xbox. Just obviously the few exclusives that I got on Wes Pass. Thanks,
Yeah,
Wes.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I'm playing that loads because I have a small selection of games to play. I'm like, I'll play that, because there's less muddying the mind, if that makes sense. It's that
Yeah,
it's the Netflix effect.
yeah, and
And
that's
yeah,
yeah. Netflix does exactly the same as well. Go on Netflix and you'll sit there for half hour looking at what to play, and in the end, I'll turn Netflix off and put Amazon Prime on because Amazon Prime doesn't have as much on there, but what I've found on there has been pretty good recently. So
but what I do
there we
find
go.
is once I get through that mental block and I actually play a game that I've been wanting to play on Game Pass, I'll get really into it and then I will play it all the way through. It's just getting through that initial barrier
Yeah,
for me personally, anyway.
yeah, same.
Okay, if you've got nothing else to talk about, I'm just going to briefly mention there was other shows as well. There was the Square Enix show, which was not great.
I
They didn't
saw a bit of it.
show
It didn't look.
they didn't show Final Fantasy 16, which I'm really annoyed about. But they did show a game called Stranger of Paradise: Final Fantasy Origin.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
This looks quite cool. So when it started, I thought it was like a Devil May Cry game.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
thought.
but it is it's just like a mixture. Like it's been made in conjunction with Ninja Theory, who are known obviously for making some awesome games. But the main character, like the reason I thought it was Devil May Cry, because the main character looks a bit like Dante. He looks like a little bit like generic man. He just I don't know. There's no standout features for this character, but it looks good. It's like that typical kind of Final Fantasy game that you got the giant sword, but it's still just hack and slash action. That's not coming out till next year anyway. But I just thought that looked quite interesting.
Yeah.
That looks cool, and I think that was the only game that looked decent at At the Square Enix event, there was a game called Babylon's Fall, which looked okay, kind of stylized, but again, it was just a trailer. It didn't really show any gameplay or anything. A big wet fart for me was the Guardians of the Galaxy game announcement. It looks
Everybody's
like
talking about this game. I saw nothing about it, and I've seen people saying it looks amazing.
oh, I don't know what people are fucking on. I mean, you
No,
know,
I
there was that other game that Square brought out with all the Marvel characters, and it was a big wet fart, and it just flopped big time when it.
Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers. Yeah,
Okay.
and it was just a big wet fart, and it made massive losses for Square Enix because no one bought the game because it was a pile of shit. I mean, I love the Guardians of the Galaxies movies. I thought, but this game just looks like that other fucking game, that Avengers game. It looks like DLC content, like the same engine. They haven't even got the license for the main character to look like the actor, so he looks like generic man. It looks
Oh,
fucking
really?
awful. The rest of the characters just look shite. And it just looks like a fucking generic fucking shooty game for fucking 8-year-olds. I just think it looks awful, really do.
Mm.
So
It'll be coming to
Won't
Game
look it
Pass.
up then.
it looks shit. It looks absolute shit.
I bet it comes to Game Pass.
Oh, well, if it does, I
'Cause-
won't be downloading it.
No, I'm just saying because Outriders did, and that's Square Enix, wasn't it?
Yeah. A lot of people are liking that though. Still, I've been noticing in the community. Yeah, and the other thing that I thought was quite interesting is they're doing Final Fantasy 1 to 6 pixel remasters. So they're obviously doing these little pixely remasters of those games, which is cool. But what's interesting about these is most of these games have already come out. So one is they're only coming to mobile phone and Steam. And as an example, Final Fantasy VI has already come out as on mobile and Steam, but they did it in like a weird phone mode, if that makes sense. And the PC gamers were very upset that they got the shitty phone port, and now they're going to bring that game out, say, for example, as a pixel remaster. But if you want to play that, you got to buy the game again. So yeah, I don't know. And then they showed off a load of phone games which no one gives a fuck about. So that was the Square Enix presentation. PC Gamer Show was just a fucking cringe fest. It was like,
Oh God, that was awful.
did you watch some of it?
No, I turned the tally on. And I think it was about 11 o'clock, wasn't it?
It started at 10:30 last night.
Oh right, okay. So
Yeah.
it's about 10:30. So I put YouTube on because I thought I'd put YouTube on for a bit. Oh my God, I probably watched about 5 minutes of it. It was terrible. I've never seen something so bad. It's the sort of thing that used to get it back in the early 90s at
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning when on a Friday night when everyone had got to bed and they put the proper Euro trash cheese on.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, so it didn't really show. I mean, I'm not going to go over the games shown. I'm going to go through them on Wednesday, but that show was a bit shit. You also had the Summer Games Fest kickoff on Thursday. That was a pile of wank. You had the Koch Primetime show. That was a pile of wank. You had the IGN Expo show. That was a pile of wank. You had the Gorilla Collective. That was a pile of wank.
What was that Gorilla Collective?
They just showed off a load of indie games. They just showed off a load of shitty indie games. And then you had the Ubisoft Forward. That was okay. Not great. I need to write down the games for that actually. I think they're actually written down on my phone. I need to transfer them onto my Google Sheets. That was okay, but they showed off Riders Republic, which I think is going to be quite cool. Rainbow Six Quarantine, which looks like a pile of shite, and the rest of the show was just add-ons for existing games for Rainbow Six Siege, The Crew 2, which no one plays, and for Assassin's Creed. Well, the Assassin's Creed DLC actually looks quite decent. It's the Paris It's Paris DLC where the Vikings go in and try and invade Paris. That looks quite cool, but the rest of it looks a bit meh, and some Ghost Recon Breakpoint stuff as well. Yeah. So that was that. I think I've covered pretty much most things, to be honest. There.
So no Beyond Good and Evil 2 again.
No.
Fuck's sake! What is it with Ubisoft?
I don't
How
know.
long ago was that now? Was that 3 years ago?
Oh,
How long ago was that big trailer they
ages
put out?
ago, mate. Ages ago.
Oh, it's just a joke, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, when is this game ever going to get released?
Never.
Never.
No, I know. I think it's going to be one of them,
Never.
isn't it?
Yeah. But we do have tonight at 10:30 Capcom, and then on
Yep.
Tuesday we've got Nintendo Direct and Bandai Namco as well. So we're going to
Yep.
be fully ready for the E3 show on Wednesday because we're going to have all those extra conferences to talk about as well. Awesome.
Only one I care about that's left is Nintendo.
Nintendo's going to be awesome. I think. I mean, obviously everyone is hoping that Nintendo show the Switch Pro. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'd be very surprised if they don't.
I could really care less about a Switch Pro. I just want to see games. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have a Switch?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, Trip does, yeah.
Trip. Yeah. Do you use it?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Cool.
It's my main console. I play with my kids. But I mean, I've played all the big games that have come out on it.
When you've got the Zelda Skyward Sword remaster coming out very soon.
Next month, isn't it? I think
I've pre-ordered that and the controllers.
I've pre-ordered it with the Amiibo.
Oh, check you out!
Shocker!
Yeah, I'm one of those that wants to fast travel. No, I'm not, because it'd probably stay in the box.
Stay in the box.
The only thing I'm going to have to bloody watch out for is these things I pre-ordered is make sure I change the address if I move before they fucking come out.
Oh, God, yeah.
Effort. I need to make sure I do that on that console I've ordered as well. The Evercade.
Otherwise, I'll be going around your house that morning. Yeah, I'm Mr. Webby. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I think that's enough.
I don't know. My biggest disappointment from E3 was they didn't show Fable 4. I was pretty pissed off about that.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I mean, that's one thing that I would like to see, a bit of Fable. I mean, they did the trailer ages ago, didn't they, with the...
Yeah, but when it wasn't really a trailer, it was kind of,
Yeah.
This is what Fable is. I mean, it gets me down because it makes me wonder if it'll even come out in 2022 at this point now, and that really pisses me off because it seems like when Microsoft announces a game, it's at least a year away, and possibly further than a year away, and they've shown nothing of the new world that they're building. I mean, they've given you kind of the base that it's a whole new world, but I don't know. I was frustrated they didn't show anything at all.
Because Playground are doing it, which is the people that do Forza. So, I mean, when did they start on it, though? 2 years ago?
Supposedly 2018, 2019. I mean, is when they...
So, really, it's got 5 years in development, really. I mean, I can't see a game come out. I mean, the only game I've ever known of that came out quite quick was Death Stranding. And even then, there wasn't much in the game. It was, it wasn't like an RPG like The Witcher and stuff like that, was it? It was quite barren, Death Stranding was, just with a load of cutscenes.
Yeah, that was my biggest disappointment. But, yeah, it is what it is.
And that was a 4-year game. That's what I meant to say, Death Stranding. That took 4 years to get that made. Who knows?
Yes. Right, shall we get into what we've been playing?
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first? Stunty?
Yeah. I did a Webby.
Oh.
Yeah. I said I wasn't going to buy it, and I bought it, didn't I? I blame you, Webby. No, actually, no, I don't blame you, Webby. I blame the media because they gave it really good reviews. I bought Ratchet and Clank, a Rift. and I wasn't going to buy it because, well, one, the costs, because I don't really buy. Well, I haven't bought any £70 games on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, and I must admit I could have bought it a bit cheaper because I found out Tesco's were doing it for 59, but I wasn't able to get to Tesco, so it wasn't going to happen. So um, it's really good, isn't it? I must
Yeah.
admit I'm actually a little bit taken back actually because I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to play this, and I'm going to think it's going to be all right. It's flipping beautiful looking, isn't it? It really
Yeah,
is.
it's
No loads.
absolutely.
Yeah, no load scenes. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I played the last one actually, Ratchet and Clank, the PS4, probably a year and a half ago. I probably played it, so it's very similar the style of it, with the things where you jump onto the rails, glide along. They've added some extra tools, so like little sort of guns and little things you can do, as in like they've added a bit of a Titanfall 2 to it as well. Did you notice that?
What do you mean?
You know when you're jumping, you jump and you run along the wall,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's like Titanfall 2, isn't it? Where you're sort of wall running.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, they added that because that wasn't in the last one. And then you can, if you double tap the circle button, it will then do a sort of an extra boost on your jump, sort of forward. So, um, story-wise, yeah, it's a good little story. They've got a little bit of a kiddie element to them, but the actual gameplay is not kiddie at all, is it? It's quite hectic at times, isn't it?
It's um it's very hectic, but one thing that I am super, what shall I say, impressed with the game Stunty is,
Mm.
one, the graphics and the art style. It looks like you're playing a one of those CGI movies.
Yeah,
It is that
yeah.
good.
Mm,
I did start playing it on fidelity mode, which is 4K 30 FPS with the ray tracing,
mm,
but I've now put it on to ray tracing performance, so it runs at
mm,
60 FPS with the ray tracing, but slightly downgrades the graphics. But I haven't actually noticed any downgrade in the graphics at all. I'm guessing
mm.
it slightly lowers the resolution. But yeah, I'm super impressed with, as I say, mainly just it's the best graphics I've seen on a console so far.
Mm.
It is just absolutely stunning, and the gameplay as well is just a lot of fun. There's quite a lot of variety in it. I think
Yes.
with the different characters you play, because there's a new character in this game. So you play as Ratchet and Clank, and you play as the new character as well. It's all
Mm.
about interdimensional portal. You know, there's another dimension. So you got your kind of opposite in the other dimension, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
and what's impressive is just how quick everything loads and just how fluid everything is. Like, so there's portals just around the actual levels, and you can pull yourself into the portals, and it's like it pulls the world into you, and it's just done so
Oh,
smooth. It's just jaw dropping, just the way that works, if that makes sense. You know,
yeah, that SSD's getting a serious, you know, it's getting
workout.
used properly to its, yeah, to its ability because the
Yeah,
the speed that thing, there's no lag, nothing. It's just mad. And
yeah,
and I did it a few times. I sort of like went through the rift, turned around, went through another one straight after, so I
yeah,
didn't muck
yeah,
around, and it's just like no crashing, no bugs, no nothing. I didn't have a problem.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's good. I'm really impressed with it. I've probably I'm not sure how many hours I've done. I think I'm about 3 or 4 hours. I got to another planet that was it was jaw dropping. The graphics on it was just beautiful.
Mm.
And then it's all just kicked off there what I'm doing. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, loving it. It's yeah, I'm pleased I paid for it now. And like Dan said he said last week, he said, well, he said, all right, okay, you've paid that for it. He said, but you could have bought. He said you could buy 2 games for 35 quid each, but you wouldn't finish them.
Yeah.
But whereas this, you'll probably finish it. So and I will. I probably will finish it. I mean, the last one the last one I was going to finish, the last Ratchet and Clank, but I got right to the end, and I got a stupid boss battle. I just couldn't do the boss battle. It was just, it's that old man can't be bothered, patient, don't have time anymore to deal with bullshit crap. Because that's the other thing as well with this. There is little mini bosses as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it can be quite tough at times, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. You
But
got to
I like
think.
that challenge. I like that challenge.
Yeah. So, but no, it's good.
Yeah, it's super
Definitely.
immersive. It's like when you get in the ship and you're flying into space and you're going to another planet. Just the way that's done. It's just even that. It's like wow. It's just so cool. Because there's so much to the game, You've got, all. I mean, I'll try and not spoil it, but you've got all the portal stuff. You've got like the puzzles. You've got the fighting.
Yeah.
You've got so many different weapons as well, and they all have different features, which is really really cool. The
Yeah.
story's really well done as well. I'm really really enjoying that. Um, I would say if you have a PS5, it's one of those games that's you must get it. It is that good, and that's
Yeah.
surprising because I've not really. I mean, I've played some of the Ratchet and Clank games in the past, but I've noticed not really a series that I've really been into. Um, but this is jaw dropping. I'm really really pleased that I've managed to be able to
Yeah.
play this game. Really am.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm the same. Really, I mean, the last one that came out on the PS4, that was probably the first one I ever played because I never played them on the PS3. Well, I didn't really have a PS3 till very late on, and there was quite a few on the PS3. I must admit,
Yeah.
and it even goes back to the PS2, and I never even played them on the PS2.
Mm.
But they've been around a long time. But as I say, they're probably Insomniac that make it. They're probably the master of it now because they've
Yeah.
probably done quite a few of them.
Yeah.
So the turnaround was quite quick on that, considering they've been doing Spider-Man, now they've done this, so you can see why Sony sort of acquired them I don't think it was sort of a deal that was made because they were doing quite a lot of work with Sony, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's good. Right, better crack on because it's getting time. What else? Still playing Back to the Future. I'm on episode 2 now. It's still clunky as hell, but I'm enjoying it. It's all right. It's going along. Still playing Infamous First Light. Still enjoying it. Quite good fun still. Nothing else to talk about. Only thing else I did start to play was in the sale on the PlayStation. They were selling Far Cry 3
Oh.
Classic for
Good game.
£2.60. And it's an upgrade. So basically, it's an upgrade from the original 360 PS3 version. So I
All
don't think
right.
it's that much of an upgrade. It's just there's a few things, and it's called a classic. So I think from what I remember, because I remember playing this on the 360, and I think they've cut a few bits out or made it a little bit easier to play now. And they've added fast travel, and I don't remember the fast travel when I first played it on the 360. My bloody phone's annoying me. But it graphically looks nice, gameplay's good, but there's something about the game that to do with the camera that's making me feel sick.
Oh.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
I never had that when I played it, so I don't know what's going on there. I've tried to play around with the sensitivity, but is it because it's an old game and they sort of done something to it to try and make it run on PS5, PS4 sort of stuff, and it just doesn't work? I don't know, but I play it and then I just don't feel great afterwards. So, not
Uh,
sure if I'm going to be able to play it for much longer, which is a bit of a shame because I am enjoying it. It's the old school Far Cry before they sort of changed it up a bit.
all right. Okay.
Yeah, so um, that's it really. Yeah, I haven't played anything
Is
else.
that it?
Yeah,
That is
well,
it.
just
Oh, goodness.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Bits and bobs. Football's on now though, so that's keep me busy.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, so what about you, Trip? Have you been gaming much? Obviously we haven't heard from you in a while in the gaming front.
I mean, the big games I've been playing, AC Valhalla. I've done just about everything you can do in that game now.
Wow.
Um,
How much
just finished.
time have you put into it?
I think after finishing Wrath of the Druids, 123 hours probably.
Wow.
Wow.
That's up to like
Yeah, so
Darren time, isn't it?
yeah, lots and lots of time into AC Valhalla. Can't say that's dare I say, yeah, it's the best Assassin's Creed game they've released. I don't usually like the new Assassin's Creed formula of the enormous open worlds. AC Odyssey. Um, what's the other one?
There's loads of Assassin's Creed, isn't there?
Yeah, well, I mean, the last three, they've been these enormous RPG games.
Yeah.
I didn't get on with either of the last two, the Egyptian one or the Spartan one. They weren't interesting. This one, I've loved the whole game. So, Wrath of the Druids is really good. So if you
Right.
played Valhalla and, I mean, really, you don't even have to be through the whole game to start the quest line for the Druids quest line. I mean, I think the recommended power of it starts only like 45. So
Right. Okay.
even if you're partway through it, you can download that DLC and jump into it really midway of the game. And it has a good story. Gameplay still rock solid, really good. I've enjoyed all of the hours that I put into that game. So the people that are thinking about buying it, I would say play it 100%. The first 5 hours is kind of boring, but once you get to England, it's the whole game's great. So
yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? It started really slow, that game, didn't it? Because when I started Valhalla, I was like, not sure about this. And then it was only when I got to England, it actually then really picked up.
Yeah.
I was the same way. When it starts off in Norway, I was just kind of like, I don't know about this. But I stuck with it, and I was very surprised how much I enjoyed it. I think the characters are really good. The characters they add in Wrath of the Druids are fun. The end of it. Am I the only one that's finished that, or has everybody finished it?
No, I finished the main game. I finished the main game.
No, still, I go back to it every now and again and dip in.
Yeah, Wrath of the Druids has kind of a crazy ending, but the end of AC Valhalla was kind of crazy too. So
yeah,
I guess it was
well,
to be
AC
expected.
Valhalla's weird because like you think you've finished it and then it like kind of carries on. You're like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I loved AC Valhalla. I think it's the best Assassin's Creed game that they've brought out to date. I'm kind of waiting to play the DLC because I actually subscribed to Uplay Plus for a month just to bang the game out. So what I'm going to do is when the Paris DLC comes out, I'm going to resubscribe, and then obviously because you get the Ultimate Edition, then I'm going to bang out the two DLCs one after another.
Yeah, I mean, I would
then
say
it'd be a
the
nice
Wrath of the
break.
Druids was a good 20 hours long. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, perhaps that won't be a good plan.
So,
oh,
I mean, I
wow.
guess it depends if you do all of it. I did all of
Yeah.
it. So,
Wow. That's
it
cool,
was about
man.
20 hours.
Wow.
I told myself I wasn't going to buy it, but I did. Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
You sorted then. So you got all the stuff anyway as part of your bundle.
Yeah, so I've now finished Mass Effect 1. I think I only played Mass Effect 1 probably one time.
Wow.
I never had much of an affinity for it, just because the mechanics were so bad. But this time I played through it and did every mission of Mass Effect 1, like all the side missions, all the main missions, because there's only three, all four, I guess, main missions.
Yeah.
And I mean, it still feels like a dated game.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there.
But it was good to play it and actually play all of it, because a bunch of that side content does kind of feed into the other Mass Effect games, but I had never experienced it. So I was like, it's always like, oh, Commander Shepard, you want to get Cerberus in your first missions, and I'm like, I don't remember anything about Cerberus from Mass Effect 1. I wouldn't have even known they were there until playing it again this time. So it's all, that early 2000s formulaic gameplay, but it was good to play it. I liked it. I'm playing Mass Effect 2 now, so playing through that again.
What was the vehicle like in one compared to the? I mean, I got you. See, I played Mass Effect not that long ago, actually, on the PS3 because I finished it on the 360 and played it again on the PS3 a little while ago. It was all right, the vehicle, but have they upgraded it any better?
Like I said, it's been so long since I played it. I mean, probably right before Mass Effect 2 released, I played Mass Effect 1 beginning to end, just banged it out really fast. I remember it being bad. I wouldn't say it's a whole lot better in this. I mean, it's not horrible, but there's a lot of it. I mean, I had no idea how much you had to get in that vehicle in Mass Effect 1 because I just kind of mainlined it.
Yeah.
But you use that vehicle a lot if you play the whole game. And
yeah, you do all this. You go to all the planets and scan them all and do all that bullshit, and then you go on some of the planets and mine crap and save people or whatever.
It's just kind of the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. But
you can
I wouldn't say it's that
that
much
story
better.
10 hours, isn't it? Well, 11. I think it was 11 hours. I did it in originally.
Oh no,
yeah, I probably played it in 10, 12 hours. This time I probably put in a solid 40, 50 hours, I would guess.
Wow. I mean, I started it on the PS5, and then I've actually deleted it off the hard drive now because it's just taking up over 100 gig. And the PlayStation hard drives are fucking tiny, so I can only fit like 5 games on it. So I had to delete it just to fucking install Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
Was that a Wes Pass game then? Was it?
Yeah, Wes Pass. Wes bought it,
but I mean,
and then he didn't like it, and then he deleted it.
I mean, Mass Effect 2, I don't know. Like, some of it looks better. The main characters look pretty good. But all the, like, side characters, I don't know what they did to the faces, but they almost look like claymation now. And
I know what you mean.
I just played Mass Effect 2 again, actually. Like, the original version not too long ago.
Yeah.
And the faces did not look like that. So I don't know what they did, but I don't know. It's like Joker's face doesn't look right. That Kelly, your yeoman, her face, like she looks completely different. I don't know what the point of that was.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of people in the Citadel, like their faces just look.
It's because it's an Xbox 360 game, right? And all they've done is just up-res it. There doesn't seem to have done any other work to the game, to be honest. It's like a lazy man's upgrade, in my opinion. They're still great games, don't get me wrong, but it's not. I mean, personally, I expect a lot more from a remaster.
I know. I mean, that's the way I was, and everybody was saying how amazing this game looked, and I'm just not seeing it. I mean, the game's still good. I mean, it was good. They were good games when they came out, but it might look a little bit better. But then in other places, I think it looks worse. So
you
need
whatever
to do it. They're the only people that are decent at doing remasters, and they really, I think.
And then other than that, play a lot of Stardew Valley and Minecraft with my oldest son Dylan. He's well into his Minecraft and Stardew Valley. It gets kind of annoying, so I usually play with him on the Switch. But then he always wants to go play on the Xbox because he wants to play my farm in Stardew Valley on the Xbox. So then he fucks it all up, and I have to fix it. Spends all my money because Stardew Valley now has a co-op mode where you can play it, online co-op or split screen co-op. So
I was into this a little bit recently, but I got to the point where I had a little chicken coop, and then I started to get annoyed with the chickens, because like I couldn't give them enough food and shit. So it's like, oh, fuck, I can't be arsed with this.
That's why you have to keep upgrading it, man. Then you get automatic feed. You get automatic feeders. Then you get automatic collectors. So you don't have to collect your eggs. You don't have to feed any of your animals. I mean, you got to step your game up.
Oh, I know. It is a very relaxing game, though.
It is.
It's a good game.
I need to really play this at some point because my daughter plays at Stardew Valley, but I've not really.
Well, you could just jump in with her, man. You can just co-op on her farm.
Right. Yeah.
Then I played Spider-Man recently. I've been playing a little bit of it here and there. I know everybody loves Spider-Man. It's not grabbing me the way.
Oh, that's fair.
I,
why
the combat's
not?
just not. The combat's just, I don't know. It's just not that exciting to me. Like web slinging around the city, and I've gotten up to the point. I just went in to where they're selling off all of Fist stuff. So that mission where you have to kind of stealth through that art gallery and take out those guys, and the whole demon thing, that twist gets put into it. So that's what I'm up to. I don't know if it gets a whole lot better past that. I mean, I'm going to keep playing it, but
it was a good game. I thought Spider-Man was a good game, but I didn't think it was like, best game ever. It's no way. It's just a good game in my eyes.
I don't know. It's all PlayStation games for me. Either they grab me and I just can't put it down, or it gets to a point I'm like, like this is okay. Like I don't know. Like Horizon. Once I started playing that game, I couldn't stop playing it. Played it all the way to the end. Did everything in the game. Last of Us, every time I play one, once I pick it up, I can't put it down. It's the only thing I play.
Yeah, I know
but
what
like
you mean.
God of War. Oh yeah, I've played through Last of Us 2 twice now. I love that game.
Right. Oh wow! So you enjoyed it then, did you?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I would say it's behind AC Valhalla, my second favorite game of last year.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That sounds fun, mate.
But yeah, God of War and Spider-Man, I think it's just that like button pressy combat. There's just something about it anymore. It just doesn't mesh with my gameplay style. I've tried to get through God of War multiple times, and I'm going to eventually do it. But God of War was just never. I've never finished a God of War game, so it's not like one of those series that I have this huge affinity for, I guess.
Oh, fair.
And been playing MLB The Show.
Of course. How's your team doing?
Decent, not great, but okay. I'm doing it with. I like it. I'm doing it with kind of the semi-advanced like pitching and batting mechanics.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm not that great yet. It's not just like push a button and hit the ball. You have to actually get your speed down and everything.
Oh, wow.
To connect for good hits, and then the pitching, doing like you have to kind of like do a little zigzag and complete that whole pattern to pitch and get the pitch the way you want it. So
yeah.
I'm liking it just a little bit at a time. I tried unsuccessfully to get all of you on board with playing Rory McIlroy PGA Tour with me, but nobody would play with me.
It's too old.
Yeah. I've played a shitload of that lately, and then been playing in and out of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. It's good. It's nice to play it again.
Is that crossplay?
I do not know.
I would have thought so.
Not a clue.
Playing that on the Xbox?
Obviously.
Yeah. I'd love to play that again,
Oh, I'd love to get gamer nights going on that game. They used to be so good.
Yeah.
They used to be so good.
Most Wanted's the one, isn't it, that we really want, isn't it? That was
Most Wanted was probably the one we played the most.
Yeah.
But Hot Pursuit, we played a lot of gamer nights on that game.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
I think Hot Pursuit's coming to. It's going to be free to play soon, so
yeah,
maybe once it's free, people will play it.
Yeah, just like everything,
That's all the big mentions, I suppose. No need to go back 4 years.
Cool, awesome, man. Sounds like you've been having a lot of fun, though. That's awesome.
Oh
times.
Yeah, definitely.
It's epic. I'm going to be really short on my games played because Stunty's already talked about Ratchet and Clank. Since obviously the Battlefield 2042 gameplay and trailer has been out, I have downloaded and started playing a Battlefield 4 on the PC. Now, what's interesting about this, because obviously I played it a hell of a lot on the Xbox. Your character progression and nothing carries over, so I've started from scratch on the PC. But because obviously it's an old game, there's a double XP booster on all the time. And then obviously you got, when I loaded the game up, I had literally over 100 battle packs to unlock, and they all had boosters as well. So I got like quadruple fucking XP boosters on. So it's not actually taking me long to upgrade my different classes and unlock more weapons and scopes and all that sort of stuff. And I'm having a blast with it. Obviously, I've been playing it on my own. There is a few people in the community who've said that they will play with me on the PC, and they've downloaded it. We just need to try and arrange a session. But what surprises me, obviously, this game came out in 2013, and it's still really busy. There's loads of servers to choose from. A lot of them are always bloody full, all the popular ones. And the game is still as fun as it was back in 2013. The maps are awesome. The graphics still hold up very well, in my opinion. And just having a lot of fun with it, because I have also been playing some Battlefield 5 online. And yes, Battlefield 5 is great, but obviously that's set in the World War II setting. So obviously that's not giving you the modern shooter itch that I've been craving for recently. So yeah, really enjoying some Battlefield 4. If anyone has the PC and wants to join me for a session, then please let me know. That would be epic. Yeah, it's a great game, man. Absolutely loving it. So that's good. And the only other game I've been playing is Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. So basically, Fantasy Star Online 2 has been out for a while, but this is a new update with new pretty graphics and a new area to explore. I played that for a few hours. I joined Ship 2 so I could play with some people in the community, so we need to do some co-op on that. But it's like, I love the Fantasy Star games because it's, obviously it's an MMORPG, but it's free to play, but it doesn't feel like an MMO because it's like a hacking. It feels more like a Monster Hunter game, but set in a fantasy science fiction world in the future. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm really, really having fun with it. Just going through the zones and killing monsters. You got your different character classes, etc. And that's it. It's on Xbox. It's on PC. It's free to play, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, all is good in the hood. I think
sounds amazing.
No, it is fun. It is a lot of fun. The only thing on the PC is the controls are a bit hard. If you're using mouse and keyboard, there's a lot of different buttons. So there's a lot of memorization there. I imagine this game is a lot simpler you using a controller. I'm yet to test it out. You using a controller, but yeah, it's not. As I say, it's not a traditional MMO in that sense because it is very isolated to, you're on, it's got the hub zone, and then you go to different sections of world to do missions, and you only take like a party of 4 with you, so it's split out down like that, really. So yeah, it's more of a co-op game, in my opinion. So yeah, man, it's good fun. That is pretty much it, to be honest, for what I've been playing. So, should we get into questions before we end?
Yeah.
There has been some questions on the old Discord room. If you do want to leave questions, put them into the Discord in the podcast questions chat room. So, Mad Racer fan says, could Microsoft delay for another year of exclusives and more importantly, make the Series X another flop alongside Xbone? What were you on about? What are you on about?
It won't be a flop, I must admit.
No, it won't be a flop.
That's coming from someone that likes PlayStation. So it won't be a flop. It's doing all right.
Yeah, it's doing fine, man. Popular as ever.
Most people can't even buy them if they want them.
No, that's it. What's my tag says? Who do I have to sleep with to get a damn new version of Deus Ex or Splinter Cell? And that's a good question because
Splinter Cell, yeah, I can't see Deus Ex coming back.
like everyone, every year at E3, people are like, I want to see a new Splinter Cell, I want to see a new Splinter Cell, and it never fucking happens. Like, do Ubisoft not listen? You know, do they not listen to their fans? We want a new Splinter Cell, make it fucking happen. Instead, all they do is put Sam Fisher as a cameo in other fucking games. It's bullshit. So yeah, I do understand you on that. Ruski says, has E3 this year been one of the worst in recent times?
I didn't expect much out of it to begin with. I mean,
COVID's ruined it though, hasn't it? Really. So
we've all been sitting around in our pants all day for a year. So
yeah, I think I think it has been a shit E3, but I don't think we could have expected anything more. To be honest, as you say, with COVID, etc.
yeah.
Has been a little bit disappointing. I have to say that Xbox has stole the show this year. I think. I mean, Sony don't do E3 anymore, so they're disregarded. We're going to have Nintendo come in, as I say, tomorrow, but so far every show has been dog shit apart from the Xbox show, so that says it all to me, really. Captain Venom. Oh, I've got to read this out. Stunty might get a little bit upset. Has Stunty gone full Toz with his Sony fanboyism? Watches a Sony trailer of a cat. Love it! New IP, I can't wait! Watches 3 minutes of gameplay of Battlefield. Well, it's only a trailer. I've not seen enough. Your response, Stunty?
everybody just leave Stunty alone and let him enjoy his games. We're fucking
Yes.
old.
Yeah. What game was that? Was that Starfield? I moaned about. Was it?
I think earlier on, I think you were moaning about the Battlefield trailer because you're like, I haven't seen any gameplay, so I don't care.
Yeah, well, I haven't. So why? Yeah, so I'm not. I don't get hyped for trailers anymore. I only get
No,
hyped.
I'm the same
I
way, Stunty.
yeah, I get hyped regardless of. I get hyped if I see gameplay. Um, Battlefield is not going to hype me from a trailer. Halo doesn't hype me for a trailer. I need to see gameplay. That's what I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. I think I'm still young-minded, so I just still get excited by trailers.
yeah. I'm a bit more jaded than you because I've gamed a lot longer than you. So, and I am noticing it more and more these days. I don't really have the buzz, for games as much as I used to.
Yeah,
They don't
I hope
really
I
grab
never
me.
get like
So,
that. I still get hyped, man. I mean, that trailer, I was like, oh my god. And then I saw the gameplay, obviously, yesterday, and was like, fucking day one, man. I still felt that excitement like a little schoolboy getting excited for games, It was just, it's still there
there's,
for me.
but for me, there's nothing really at the moment. I mean, Back for Blood's the only game that I like, but even that, I've looked at it and thought, yeah, it looks all right, but I'll probably buy it because it's Left 4 Dead sequel, which I've been
Yeah,
after for
yeah.
years. But other than that, um, I can't really think of anything that's. I mean, Horizon. Yeah, Horizon looks great. Will I buy it day one? Don't know if I will now. I was, but I don't know if I will. I don't know. It wasn't long ago. See, I've noticed that I have to be careful these days because I buy a game, I will play the game, I will finish the game, and then it's a year later, I will then play the next one, and it's like, I'm not really getting into this. Like I got with Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Love the first one, as in thought it was a good game. Playing the second one, but not really connecting with me.
Oh,
So,
okay. I like Miles
mm,
Morales. I'm enjoying it.
yeah, I think what it is like we have certain moments where we need
Mm.
certain games that will, you know, if you get a right game in the right time,
Yeah,
it's going to be the best game, isn't it?
yeah,
But
100%.
like Horizon, Mass Effect, they're two games that I played the first time, didn't really get on with them, left them for a year, went back to them, loved them.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Fair enough, mate. Right, I am going to go on to the next question, and it's the last question on Discord. What's my tag asks, thoughts on Halo Infinite? Will its free-to-play multiplayer bring back epic gamer nights? Haven't been properly engaged in a Halo multiplayer since Halo 3. Anyone?
I hope so. I still play Halo 5 occasionally, but I'm pretty much the only one in this community that plays it. Halo 5's still alive. Lots of people play it.
I mean, I still like the Master Chief Collection. I just love those old classic maps. The cool thing about Halo Infinite though is it's going to be full crossplay with PC on launch, so I'm bang up for it, man. Bang up for it. Can't wait, and I think we will get some good gamer nights on it.
Yeah, I've never really...
I mean, the multiplayer they showed, if the videos live up to the hype of the gameplay, I mean, be able to hook on to vehicles and hijack people out of the cockpits, doing that. I mean, it looks pretty sweet if it actually all comes together the way it's shown. So,
100%. Yeah, man, it's going to be epic, and I hope we do get some game nights. Obviously, the game nights have been lacking recently, and I don't know. I mean, Wreckfest was fun, and but I just think I just had, I've had a really crazy month or so, as I've just really struggled to have free time on a Friday night for gamer night, so they've kind of fallen foul. Perhaps we should try and do a different night or something, or just, I don't know, man. Maybe find another game. Perhaps Halo will bring it back. I hope it does. That'd be great. If there's no more questions on Twitch, then I think we can end it here with 15 minutes until the next conference. So that is awesome. Which is, what was it? Capcom. Yeah, Capcom. I'm excited for that. Anyway, yeah. So on that note, guys, thank you very much for coming on. It's been very nice to talk to you both. Trip, it's been awesome to have you back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope to see you both on Wednesday for the E3 special, where we can talk about everything E3 in more detail, with the Capcom and Nintendo stuff included as well. That would be great. And hopefully some of the other guys from the crew will also join us with their opinions. I'm looking at you, Dan, and Switch in particular. And that is it. So from me, Mark Webb, Gamer Tag Piston D, Steam ID, Webby 360G.
Sorry, I was reading something. Sorry. I want to know what trailer with a cat in. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've just, it's #1 Stuntmaster. Sorry, Captain Venom's just sort of freaked. I'm trying to work out what Sony trailer of a cat, because I don't remember any trailers. So there we go.
I think
Sorry.
he's taking the piss out of you.
I know he is. I know.
I don't know the trailer with a cat, and I still can't get used to Webby 360G. Trip McNeely, thanks for having me.
It's been that way for donkeys now. Yeah, I mean, Stunty, don't forget about the famous PlayStation giant enemy crab. That will always go down in history as the best E3 trailer ever. But yes, do you remember that famous E3 with the PS3? They had a section where there was like, you fight a giant enemy crab, and it became a meme on the internet for freaking ages.
It wasn't really Sony then, as I was Xbox then, probably.
I knew you flip-flopped.
Yeah, flip-flopped.
Flippy flopper.
Yeah. But I still don't know what he's going on about with a cat. I mean, yeah, I like pussy, but there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Give me a trailer on that any day.
Yeah. Right, on that note, thank you very much. Don't forget, on Wednesday, 8:30 p.m, we'll be live streaming the E3 special. Only the Patreons will be getting the full show on their feed. So that website, if you wish to subscribe, is patreon.com/360gamercast. From as little as £5 a month, you get an episode every single week of the year, and loads of special extra shows as well, like the recent UFO episode and the upcoming paranormal episode towards the end of the month. So look out for those. So thank you very much. We will see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.